Hello, everybody. This is Stefan again with Kevin.
Hello.
This is episode, is it 6 now?
Shit.
Holy shit. You should probably start publishing this pretty soon. Last podcast, weekly game, movie, news, sometimes sports, sometimes whatever we feel like talking about. It's going to be a good week this week. We got a lot of topics to talk about.
Yeah, there's some news.
Good topic of the week that Kevin's gonna pretty much take lead on, get a good rant in. But as we start every week, Kevin, what have you been watching and what have you been playing, if anything?
I've been reading some Game of Thrones just because I love it. And then I finally played the Final Fantasy 15 demo, which that'll be topic of the week.
Okay, save that.
We'll save that
Good.
discussion. I'm less angry now, I'll say, than I was when I first finished playing it. But
okay, all right.
And then I went back and played more Diablo 3 just because I love it.
Very nice. Very nice.
I don't know. I can't get back into Type 0. I don't know why, but
that game I put down. I need to come back to it.
I wanted to finish that over this week, but because I was off this week, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, I stopped playing when Bloodborne came out, and then I just deleted it off my hard drive because I was like, it's taking up space. I'm not gonna play it anytime soon. And now Witcher 3 comes out next week.
Yeah.
So
honestly, I might just trade it in and get that. I don't know.
Witcher 3.
It didn't take me. I don't know.
It's one of those games I think when you have absolutely nothing, you'll go back to it. And you'll be like, all right, it's fun again.
I just wasn't driven really to play it. I don't know.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. Mine's kind of depressing. I haven't played like anything really this week.
Yeah.
A little bit of Mortal Kombat here and there.
There's not much out right now.
No, it's basically just like the calm before the storm.
Right.
Because I'm just going to go so hard into Witcher 3 next week.
Yeah.
Like, I'll have no life. I'm be like, don't talk to me. I won't go out. I won't do shit. Just won't play Witcher 3. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
I haven't been watching anything. Wanted to see Adventures again, but I didn't get a chance to go see it again.
I still haven't seen it.
My God.
I'm going to.
Next
week, though.
Next
Mad
week?
Max.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I'm going to have a Mad Max marathon.
And Pittsburgh,
tomorrow.
too. I'm excited. The Packers are in it.
Okay. I did watch a movie last night that was pretty good with Jason Bateman. It's an old movie. It's not HBO. It was like when his dad dies and like his wife cheated on him and like Tina Fey's in it and they all come together.
Oh, what's it called?
I forgot what that movie's called. It was really good.
It's got like a few old people, right?
Yeah.
They're like coming back for the funeral or something.
Some of the funeral and something like that.
I saw part of that.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. It's kind of depressing, but pretty good.
Yeah.
That's about it. Let's just go down the list and talk about the news. Big news of last week. Let's start off. Let's get in a good mood here. Basically, new 3D platforms coming. It's from the guys who made Banjo-Kazooie. Bunch of ex-Rare guys who basically got tired of Microsoft shit and was like, screw you guys, we're going to go make our own thing.
Yeah.
So they put it on Kickstarter called Ukulele. They put it on and basically it's just shattered Kickstarter records. It made like $1 million in like, I think, a matter of hours. The goal was 270,000. Right now it's sitting at 2 million, and it still has 37 days.
2.25 million.
Yeah, 2.25, and it still has 37 days to go.
Yeah.
So
they must have got traction on Reddit or something. Somehow they got some kind of advertising.
I probably put on like NeoGAF or something like that, but that's just people just want a 3D platform.
Yeah,
there's none now, right?
I know. I feel the same way. That's what I was thinking earlier. It's like there's not any good ones anymore. Like, and I don't know why. I think, and they make a crack about in the little trailer on the thing. They make a crack about. I wish this were a first-person shooter or something, but I'm too smart for it. So there's some kind of joke about how FPSs are kind of stupid, and now they want like a smarter game, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's how they fell, and probably like Microsoft wanted them to make a first-person game or something like that.
Let's talk about. Let's go on a little tangent. Right? Let's talk about how badly Microsoft handled Rare.
Yeah.
Like, they put out Perfect Dark Zero, which wasn't that great.
Yeah, it was a decent launch game.
It was decent, but not great.
Yeah.
They did, what was it, Cameo, which I was like, this is garbage.
Yeah, that sucked.
And then they did like that Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts game that no one wanted because it wasn't like a legit 3D platformer.
Right.
And then they put them on Connect for like that Milo bullshit and the Avatar characters.
Yeah.
So like, I get why these guys are pissed. Like they're probably like, dude, I just can't take this. I want to make a legit game,
right?
Because they haven't done it in so long.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to be perfectly honest, I wasn't the hugest fan of Banjo-Kazooie back in the day.
Oh, I liked it a lot.
Like I was more like Mario 64 guy. That was my game.
Yeah.
But like, everyone loves Rare, and like you said, there's no 3D platformers anymore. So
there's definitely a lapse, and I don't know why that is, but like everybody loves those games. And I mean, if you look, the characters kind of look like Banjo-Kazooie. It's like a frog. There's a big guy, and there's a little bat that sits on his head.
Little bat guy.
And it looks like the gameplay shows like the bat helps you glide or fly, and the frog can like roll and do attacks and stuff. So it looks similar to Banjo-Kazooie for sure. But
what's funny too is like when's the last like. So we've had a couple 3D platformers, major like Ratchet and Clank, but Ratchet and Clank was always about the guns and stuff. Yeah. But we haven't had like just no guns, just like adventuring straight 3D platform. Really, I don't think since maybe the first Jack and Daxter game.
Yeah.
Back in like what was that like 2001 or something maybe like that. So that's a long.
I know, like a new IP. Yeah.
But I'm excited. I'm gonna play it.
Maybe he's like a chameleon. I don't think it's a frog.
I think he's a chameleon.
He's got a curled tail.
Yeah. It's a chameleon and like a bat looking thing.
So that could be cool. He could like camouflage or something. I don't know.
Like swing with his tail.
They didn't show much. It just showed a guy collecting coins, like jumping.
Yeah, but they said like 30 days they've been making it.
They've only been working on the game like 3 months. They said. Yeah. So
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Something to look forward to.
Definitely.
Moving on. Street Fighter V has a release window. Basically, we know that it will come out by April 2016.
Yeah, I would have thought it would have been this fall.
I thought so too. I thought it might have been this fall too. Because really, since Uncharted 4 got knocked out of the fall, it doesn't seem like they really have anything. I don't think Sony really cares because I think they just own the spring now.
Right.
But I thought this would be a good thing to have in the fall. But Street Fighter V, are you excited for this?
Yeah, I think it'd be cool. I like the fourth one.
The fourth one was good. Although they did way too many remakes. I hope they don't do this again with this game. I mean, they seem to do it for every fighting game they do.
Right. The Street Fighter has a reputation of that, I guess. But
like 83. But I would love to be like Street Fighter 5 and then just like add DLC. Like,
well, I'm sure.
The Turbo Pack or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's one game where they could sell a season pass and people would be motivated to buy because they know they do so many add-ons afterwards.
Yeah.
So
I hope they just do that because I don't really want to be like, oh, now there's super extreme turbo Street Fighter 5. I just want Street Fighter 5 and then just a bunch of DLC stuff added on it if I want to do it. That would be a great thing. But yeah, that's look forward to that. Excited for that. Moving on, let's go to some TV stuff here now. Dave Coiler is reprising his role as Uncle Joey in Fuller House.
Yes. I mean, I feel like that was an easy one to get.
Like, what has he done? Right?
Yeah, exactly. what has he been? Like, who else is knocking on his door right now?
That's very true. So right now, it seems like they got him. They got Uncle Jesse back, I think. I think he's kind of the head, like the one kind of spearheading this. They got all the girls back except for, I think, Mary-Kate and Ashley.
Right, yeah. Looks like they got Kimmy, too.
Yeah, there's on IMDb, it says Bob Saget's coming back, but he might be back for a new episode or something.
I feel like, how do you do it without him?
Well, it's more about the daughters, right? So did you read the description of what it's going to be about?
No.
I finally read the description. It's like, one of the sisters, I forget which sister, the older sister. DJ. She gets pregnant, and then I think either her husband dies or like divorces her or leaves or something.
Oh, no.
So she's pregnant with kids, so she moves back into the house and basically calls her sister and her friend to come help her with the kids and stuff.
So it's like a new generation.
It's like a new generation of Full House.
I see. So you don't really need the older days.
You don't really need them. They're going to probably make cameos.
Yeah, well, it says one episode for Jesse.
Yeah.
John Stamos is in one episode, so I'm sure he does like a...
I mean, I'm sure Mary-Kate Ashley, they have to get one of them in at least like 1 or 2 episodes. You have to do it.
Yeah, and if not like right away, like maybe if the show takes off,
we'll see.
Sign off.
You excited for this?
I'll watch it. I don't know if I'm excited.
I think I'm with you too. I think the only reason I'll watch it is because it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Like it's just gonna be there, and I'll be like, I'll check out a couple episodes.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, I mean, I didn't need Fuller House.
Yeah.
But I'll watch it. Not
Yeah,
bad.
I'll give it a chance.
Give it a chance. Sticking with movie news. Sad news to me. Basically, Hugh Jackman's like, the next Wolverine movie is my last Wolverine.
Yeah.
And that's just saddened me because I just cannot picture another guy being Wolverine.
I know, he was perfect. One of like the most spot on, comic to film kind of guys. And it's sad too because I wish that they would eventually do like New Avengers, which I don't know. Marvel finally owns Wolverine now, right? It's not Fox anymore.
No, it's
They
Fox.
still don't.
It's Fox. See, what I think is going to happen, I think they're going to do the next X-Men movie, the First Class or whatever, the Apocalypse.
Yeah.
I think they're going to do the Wolverine movie, and then I think they're going to reboot all of X-Men.
Yeah.
With like the final, going back to like the original X-Men class.
Yeah.
And then I think they're going to then make a partnership with Marvel and put them in the MCU.
Okay.
Like that's my theory. I have no like any rumors or anything. This is my theory that just makes sense to do it that way.
That
like,
makes
just
sense.
Polish off this whole thing, make this
Right.
be the final X-Men and all that stuff, and then just reboot it, fresh, brand new characters and everything, and then put it back into put it part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like that makes sense to me.
I wish they would have done that sooner, and I'm sure Marvel regretted selling like Spider-Man and X-Men.
Oh yeah, they regret it hard now.
Yeah.
But
I
at the time,
it made
right?
sense for them, and they still made a bunch of money.
Yeah.
But yeah, because now I want them back because if they ever do New Avengers, that'd be sweet.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna get everybody back.
Yeah.
Because I think Fox is like, I want that money too.
Yeah.
Like it just helps them. Like why wouldn't you do it?
Yeah.
That's why I was like, why did Sony do it? And Sony kind of had to force their hand because of all the leaks and shit they had.
Yeah.
So they kind of were hurting with money a little bit. So they're probably like, let's make this deal. Let's get some deal. Let's help ourselves out
I
here.
know,
But
Marvel's like printing money.
But
now.
I want to show you this one pic too right here. Like this is impressing me. So I was like, just let Wolverine play. Let's let Hugh Jackman play Wolverine forever. Viewers can't see this at home, but it's a before. It's when he first played Wolverine till like his last time playing him.
Oh, like pictures?
Look at this.
Jeez. He got older and a lot more ripped.
Like I was like, I honestly like the older look of the older Wolverine better when he first played it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, just let him play Wolverine forever.
Yeah.
He could be 65 and still be Wolverine. And I'll be fine with it.
Yeah. Yeah, he is getting a little old. I'm sure that's why he doesn't want to do it.
That's definitely why.
It's a lot of work too, honestly, to look like that.
It's a lot of work, but at the same time, like he could keep doing it because Wolverine is one of those characters where age doesn't really matter because Wolverine's old as hell anyways, right?
Yeah.
As long as you still look kind of fit and stuff, you could be Wolverine forever. It wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
But that's why I think that's why he's done it for like 15 years and whatnot. But yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's sad.
But sad. I respect Hugh Jackman for just like loving a character and not caring about being typecast or anything like that, just doing it forever. Because usually, eventually these people are like, "Oh, I don't want to be typecast,"
right?
And then go away. But he stuck with it, and hopefully, whoever follows up him could be a good Wolverine. Moving on, let us go back to gaming news.
Yeah,
this one I'm very happy about. This one too. Basically, they're doing a new Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5.
Yes.
I'm excited for that. So this is being made by the same guys who did the HD remake. Did you play the HD remake?
No, I didn't.
I heard it was cool. It was pretty good. I liked it a lot. So I guess they did some other random skateboarding games before that, and then they got their hands on that. And I thought they did a really good job. So I'm excited. I'm hoping it goes back more to like 1, 2, and 3 again. Like 4. After 4, and when they started to expand, it wasn't good.
2 is like the greatest game ever.
Like 2 and 3 are my favorite.
Yeah.
Because 2 had Spider-Man.
Yes.
And 3 had Wolverine.
The Spidey flip. Yeah.
And which one was it? 3 that had Darth Maul. One of them had Darth Maul.
Yeah, 3 had Darth Maul.
And like I loved it.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah.
But here's the first clip. The first pick. You just see a dude jump in the air.
Yeah. I think it's been so long, there'll be a good chance, and I think...
The thing I'm worried about, though, is there's rumors that this is going to be a $60 game. If it's $60 game, that's a bad move. That needs to be, like, downloadable. Well, I mean, I guess it could be a disc-based 2 games, depending on how much content they put in it.
Yeah.
But I'm still thinking like a $40 game. Like, I can't see a $60 game playing for Tony Hawk.
Huh.
Like, it just doesn't... Like, this day and age, to me, that just seems more like a downloadable type game that I pay, like...
I think if there's enough content... I mean, I think knowing them, it's going to be $60 no matter what, but... I think games like SSX and stuff like that have been $60. But I guess... I don't think Twisted Metal wasn't, was it?
I don't know if Twisted Metal was.
I feel like it came out at like 50 or something weird.
We'll see.
But...
We'll see. I'm just worried about that. That's the only thing I'm worried about. But I guess it depends on how much content. If they put like maybe... robust, maybe like an online mode you can play with your friends or something.
Yeah, I'm sure there's got to be online.
Something like that. Maybe kind of cool. Maybe if they did like a MMO kind of feel, like just an MMO kind of feel. You see a bunch of other skaters just in the skate park.
Yeah, well, I think that some of the later ones, like Underground or whatever on Xbox, that's kind of how it was.
Was it?
Like it was more open world, and you like went and got missions and stuff.
Yeah, I want both. Like I want that separate. I wouldn't want it like all together. Like I want it to be like. I got my classic Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I can level up. I can do the challenges, whatever, and then go level to level. And then I would love to have like an online mode that's maybe a little bit more opened up.
Right, and I think with them putting the Pro Skater subtitle on it tells you that it's not going to be like those newer ones, and it's going to be like the old classic ones where you're just like dropping in and it's just an arena.
I want some good classic characters too. Who would you want classic character wise?
I mean, you got to bring back Spider-Man for sure.
Spider-Man?
The Spidey flip was the coolest.
It was great.
Ever.
It was great.
And I don't know. So I would love to see the old skaters too. You know, even though not all of them are still skating.
I want Mad Max.
That would be awesome.
And this skateboard is just a ridiculous looking, like almost looks like a car thing.
I think you could do some new superheroes too with like Avengers and stuff.
Iron Man, a Thor.
Yeah,
there's like a Thor hammer
totally.
slams.
Iron Man with like a metal skateboard or something.
That'd be kind of tight.
I think we could do a lot of stuff. So I think it would be cool. I'm actually excited for that.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fun.
I don't know what comes out. When is it supposed to come out? Probably next year, I would assume.
Yeah.
It's also coming out for PS3 and 360. At this point, I'm like, why? Like...
Well, maybe that's a reason that it might be cheaper. I don't know.
I'm like, I don't need... No more games on PS3 360. Done with that. It's dead to me. It's dead to me. Moving on. Jumping back to movie stuff. We got our first pick of Tarantino's next movie, The Hateful Eight. We see basically Kurt Russell and Sam Jackson with some epic beards. Who's the lady in the back? Who is that? I saw a lady in the back. I'm not sure who it was.
Jennifer Jason Leigh. Right here.
No. Yep. Jennifer Jason Leigh. Yep. I don't know where she's from. I have to look it up. Can't think of the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I'm excited. I'm loving these westerns that we're getting from Tarantino. Like Django Unchained was just so great that now we're getting basically almost like a Magnificent Seven. What was that one movie? The western movie. It's like based on. Is it Magnificent Seven? Yeah, it's Magnificent Seven. Yeah. Basically getting that kind of feel, but Tarantino.
Yeah, no, I always loved westerns. I always like watched them growing up, like Clint Eastwood westerns and stuff. So I just think it's a cool thing. And yeah, you're right. They don't make them all that much anymore, but we have kind of seen a resurgence between like
we had True Grit
remake,
we had
310 to Yuma.
310 to Yuma.
So there's been a few.
And then of course we had Django Unchained.
Right. So I think it'll be cool. I'm definitely excited. I mean, it's Tarantino, so no matter what.
Tarantino is one of those directors where, like, he hasn't really made a bad movie yet. Like, his worst movie, in my opinion, is probably Kill Bill Volume 2. But even that, like, I was disappointed, but it was still good. It wasn't, like, a terrible movie. But he hasn't made a terrible movie yet.
Yeah.
And, like, he's one of those directors that I think you just have to, like give a hand to, because this portrayal of, like, race and sexuality and stuff, it's just been so like forward thinking and just really done. It's been well done. And I mean, you look at his movies, it's like going back to like Pulp Fiction. Like Vin Rames is like the leader of the mob of a thing. You're like, wow, this is different. Like that's what 1998 and stuff like that. You didn't see shit like that.
Yeah.
And like the dialogue with Samuel Jackson and stuff, like it's great. It's like it's almost like a utopia type thing. And in the movies he's done, right? I mean, look at he did Pulp Fiction, he did Jackie Brown, he had the Kill Bills, that had like that Asian anime kind of influence,
like stuff he was a fan of.
Yeah. Then you had Django. And I remember like what was it? Spike Lee a couple years ago was trying to say like the Django was like racist, and I was like, Spike Lee, shut up. Just shut up, dude. Like seriously. Like, you can't, like, your movies, like, don't, you're the last person to talk about racism.
Yeah.
Not that I think his movies are racist, but, like, your movies, like, challenge that why are you judging someone else who's doing the kind of the same thing? You know what I'm saying? That was just so stupid to me. But.
I forgot about the Grindhouse movies. and Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah, Inglourious Bastards, Reservoir Dogs.
World War II epic.
He's done so much.
Yeah,
so
he's
much
covered
stuff.
a lot of genres. I didn't really thought about that before, but.
Yep. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
So look forward to that. Going back to basically our last big news. Assassin's Creed. The next game is going to be revealed this Tuesday. A little concept art with some brass knuckles. It's supposed to be in like Victorian London. Supposedly that was the rumor. Because it got leaked every Assassin's Creed game is leaked every year.
Because they have like 300 people working on it.
Yeah. But new Assassin's Creed, you excited?
Not really.
See, that's the problem with Assassin's Creed. Is like you're like, is this year's gonna be a good one or a bad one? Right?
It's not like it has like a pedigree, you know.
It's like
they pump one out every year. It's like sometimes it sucks and sometimes it's all right, but like.
Because like Assassin's Creed 4 was a fantastic game. Like I keep telling you, play it.
Yeah.
It's a really great game. It was different, and what made it different was it was the pirate ships in the Caribbean.
I did want to play that one.
It was awesome. And then they went to Unity, and I was just like, I don't want this. Like, it's back. This is a big, large city. It's only one city. There's no like sailing around. It felt just congested. There was too many people on the map, and then it had all these issues with it, and they just shit it out because like. There's no choice. Shit it out. Yeah. Because you have to have Assassin's Creed every year. Yeah. So, like, this year, like, they really have to make up from last year. Like, they royally screwed up last year.
Right.
They have to make it up. And it's like, has there been enough time? Is this their A-team? Because it seems like the team that did Unity, it's almost had, like, that Call of Duty kind of phase.
Right.
Because Unity was the team who did Revelations, which was arguably the worst Assassin's Creed in the series.
Yes, it was not good. And
they did Unity, which arguably, I won't say the worst, but it had so many issues with it. So, is this the A-team again? Like, is this the team that did 2? I think the team that did 2 might have done 4. Like, I just want 4 again.
Yeah,
but
2 is good.
I mean, I play them every year. I get them every year. I played every Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
They're fun games. But, I mean, I want a new location, man. Like, I want Japan.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Like this, like everyone keeps saying this. Give me Japan. Like I'm tired of these like European cities and stuff. Like I played all those already. Right. I don't need any more of those.
Yeah.
I've been in America, American Revolution, all this stuff.
Victorian England will be that different either.
It's not. It's gonna be like okay.
Like what's gonna be different?
I don't know.
The characters will look different.
Have maybe like Jack the Ripper and stuff like that, which would be kind of cool.
But like London at that time is gonna just be another
like European looking
city. Right. Yeah.
I want Japan. I want just give me a female.
Yeah.
It seems like they have like a problem with like
that'd be cool.
With ethnicity and like the main chapters. I don't understand it. Like, why haven't we had and sexuality? Why haven't we have a female assassin?
Well, there was the...
Yeah, but that's all the spin-off ones. Yeah. Like, I want a main game. Just give me a Japanese Assassin's Creed game but like a young Asian chick.
Yeah.
And I will be happy. That's all I need. Make it like fucking Tenchu and all that shit, like back in the day, which was great.
I would play that.
I would play a hell of that.
Yeah.
But every time, it's just like, I'm like, what is it going to be? And they're like, oh, we're in France. I'm like, cool. Not like I haven't been in like a billion European cities already.
Yeah.
Oh, we're in this. That's what make the Assassin's Creed 4 great, because we haven't been in the Caribbean. It was like, oh, this is brand new.
Yeah,
like
and there was like sailing and stuff.
This is awesome. And they just kind of went back to like all these European cities. Like I was like, get away from that. Like, do some weird stuff. Like, do one in Egypt. That would be kind of awesome.
Ooh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They do some random ass locations.
Right.
Now. But we'll see. I'll play it, but I'm kind of with you. I'm kind of just like
it's nearing the end of.
It's not gonna stop though. They keep selling because people like me keep buying.
Admit it.
Every year, it's just like a thing I have to do. It's like Call of Duty. Yeah. I'm like excited for Call of Duty. When it comes out, I'm like, I'm gonna buy it because I'm gonna play the next Call of Duty.
Right.
It's the hell of it. But I'm just like, ugh.
But I feel like Call of Duty has a good pedigree where like it's always usually a good game. You know, like.
I mean,
I don't feel the same about Assassin's Creed. Like,
I guess I agree with that.
It's more of a roll of the dice.
It's kind of a roll of the dice. But like, I don't know. I guess there's always something that grabs me in Call of Duty every year too. There's always like one thing that's just like, ooh, like with Ghost, it was the Alien chapters. With Advanced Warfare, it was like the first like true next gen Call of Duty, and it had the exoskeleton suits and all that stuff.
Right.
And then the next one is the 4-player co-op campaign, which I'm like, God. I want to do that.
Yeah,
that's what I want to do. So I'll jump back in there.
5
but
years
like I said, yeah, but in Assassin's Creed, you're right. It's like you're another random assassin dude. Because by like as of right now, like I have no idea what the story of Assassin's Creed is now.
Oh no!
Like after 3,
they gave up. They were like, whatever.
After 3, they just went off the rails. Like 4, like 4 is a great game, but you can see on 4, they're just like, fuck the story. Like,
yeah,
it's just,
no one cares anymore.
Like the time you spend out of the was it the was it Animus? The Animus or something?
Yeah,
like that?
Animus, I think it's called. Yeah,
like
the machine.
It just decreases every game. Like 4 was just like you ran around for a living, and in Unity it was like none at all.
Right,
you're just in this thing.
And I think they realized like those parts weren't all that fun to play.
But like
it was needed for the story.
It was needed for the story. It made it interesting, and like it was connected, right? And it was building towards something. And you always felt like, okay, eventually we're gonna get to a part where Assassin's Creed game is gonna be in modern day. It's gonna be a modern day Assassin's Creed.
It's gonna make some sense.
And it's gonna make sense.
You could have had like multiple assassins using multiple machines, spanning multiple genes with multiple backgrounds.
They went all.
And then now.
It's like how I feel with Saw now. Like the main dude's dead, and I'm just like, I don't even understand like who I'm playing as no more. Like Desmond, who's like main guy who you're jumping in, he died in Assassin's Creed 3.
Right.
There's been like 4 other Assassin's Creed games since he died. And it's just like...
I think they just originally planned it as a trilogy, and then eventually they were like, no, we need to keep making these.
Yeah, it's just making money.
So then they're like, oh, well, shit, now how do we keep the story going?
Every game is like, oh, you gotta jump in this dude's memories to find some shit. It's like that fucking same story every time.
Right.
Jump in this memory. Yeah, you're some random dude. Jump in this dude's memories to find the key of something. And I'm just like...
I lost sight of that, for sure. Which is kind of disappointing.
But, yeah. That's my little rant on Assassin's Creed. Moving on. What time are we at? We got a good amount of time. Topic of the week.
Yes.
This is a good topic. Let me look it up and let me get the exact thing I wanted to say.
Let me see.
It's topic of the week. Final Fantasy 15 demo. So, Kevin, you recently played this demo.
Yeah, I just played it this week. I had it downloaded, but I had heard that it was pretty long, and I wanted to play it in one sitting.
Yes.
So I had saved it until I was done with finals, and I was like, "Oh, I'll reward myself. I'll look forward to this. It's gonna be so good."
This is pretty funny because I played the demo. I didn't play it all the way through. I played it for a little bit, and I was like, "Oh, it's fine. There's a couple issues here. I like the direction." But earlier this week, I got a text from you. Text message from you. Basically, see if I can have the exact text message here, because I kind of laughed.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, okay. Give me a second here.
I wasn't happy. I was halfway through it, and I wasn't happy.
Just randomly, midday, finally played Final Fantasy 15 demo. ... Not impressed. I was like, damn.
Then I went off a little
and then you went off. like a 7. Definitely rough. Hope they fix the targeting. Not a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is the magic?
All right, so I did some research so I initially played through it. Let's start with that. I thought the characters were cool. The graphics look good. I think the music is actually really good.
Okay.
Which I've always loved the music of Final Fantasy.
Right.
I usually buy the soundtracks, and so I was impressed by that because it's not the same guys doing the music anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I was worried, but it sounds pretty good. I like the music. Cutscene is good. Graphics are good. The open world I like, and you run into enemies, and I was like, okay. I don't know. Then you started going through it and playing it a bit, and I just the targeting on the jumping thing. The whole point of the combat is you can like warp. So there's like regular attacks and then there's counters. It's kind of like actiony. You have a few different swords you equip at one time, but the main thing is like dodging takes MP, and then you can warp, and that takes MP.
Basically, everything takes MP.
Yes, any movement really takes MP, and it regenerates, which I thought was kind of a unique take. It's be interesting to see how it works once there actually is real magic.
Yes.
I'm assuming, because you also have what's called techniques per sword, which are kind of like abilities, you know? And those also take MP, and a couple of those, and you're out of MP. So you can't do a lot. I mean, I guess, a pretty low level. You start at like level 5, so
yeah,
you're pretty low. But you can warp to places, or you can hide behind cover, and that helps regenerate the MP faster.
Yes.
Which I don't know. At first I thought, okay, that's a cool mechanic, but then I didn't really like it because I do a couple techniques or something, and then I got to be out of the fight. Like, it's not like, you know, Final Fantasy has always been kind of a tactical kind of combat thing where you're making decisions and stuff, and I don't like to have to like, okay, the decision now has to be run, and I got to warp up to something and chill till I get my MP back.
So I haven't played it for a while. I only played it for a little bit when it first came out. But I thought it was always regenerating, like slowly.
It is always regenerating slowly.
But it regenerated quicker if you hit.
Yes, or if you warp, you can warp up to like high places, and you can hang on your sword and kind of chill.
So in the game's defense, then I still think that's tactical to be like, how much MP should I use in this tag?
Yes.
Do I fuck myself and now I have to hide,
right,
or I balance it out so I know I have enough to maintain? Like I have enough where I can do a quick attack, kind of heal up a little bit, build up a little bit more. And
you can still swing. There's normal attacks and there's counters. You can still do those without MP. So you can still be in the fight. And this kind of leads to another thing I thought. The regular enemies had way too much HP. Like, I realized that they give you one area and you have that area the whole demo and you're leveling up. So I think eventually, like, by the end, maybe it was a little less. I think I finished the demo at, like, I don't know, level 15. Okay. So I grew 10 levels the whole time. But, all right. And it did get a little easier, but they have normal, regular enemies have a lot of, like, it takes a lot of hits to kill them. And this is something that they'll easily can tweaks and maybe something that they do. And I've heard multiple people complain about this.
Yeah.
But, like, you do a few techniques and one normal enemy still isn't dead. It's like, bro, I just used, like, 60 MP on you. Like, a normal enemy in Final Fantasy, you use, like, all your MP, you probably should be dead.
Yes,
you know?
I agree.
And so you're fighting like herds of dudes, and there's all kinds of shit going on. And then once your MP's gone, like you still have the normal attacks, but they just don't really do much damage to a normal enemy. And so I always found myself having to like pull back, recover, and then come back into the fight because I couldn't do much, or it didn't feel like I was doing much damage without doing like techniques and stuff.
Yeah. And
I think once you add magic on top of that, like you have magic techniques, dodging warping, all of it takes MP, like. I'm going to run out of MP in like 10 seconds, you know, because it's all using that same resource and it's limited.
I agree.
And if the only thing you can do without it is normal attacks, I'm just going to end up being, you know, it's going to be Dynasty Warriors, and I'm going to be out there just hitting X, you know, just slashing dudes. So I think that those were a few things I didn't like. The warp thing is cool, but the targeting right now is shit.
That was my biggest complaint.
Okay, there's like slow-moving, stupid enemies, and targeting works fine for them. Yes. But there's these little fucks that are like little cheetahs that run around you and hit you with shit or throw shit at you, and like you cannot target them. Like you target them, and then the camera doesn't follow what you've locked onto.
Yes.
So they'll be off the screen, but you're still quote unquote targeting them, and then you warp, and it like shoots you in another
direction. The camera
direction.
and targeting were.
It's like, how is this so broken? Like. So
but
I hope that also gets fixed.
It is a demo, and in this demo particularly, I heard that this particular area is not even in the game.
Right. It's supposedly a whole separate thing. It's like a prequel, sort of, like they're on the way to where the game starts.
And, but you're right. Like, the cameras are really bad. Like I remember I was fighting some of those big ass beasts, and like one kept hitting me, and I couldn't.
You
like,
can't even see where it's
I
coming.
didn't know which one was hitting me. Right. And like if there's multiple dudes that attack you, you're screwed. You can't do anything. I'm just like
to counter. They show a little thing, almost like that. Like it's like a circle with a reticule, that says, "Hey, you could counter right here." But it's like when 6 different things are hitting you. I mean,
it's very difficult. That was my issue. But I thought. So the thing you said also is that this is not a Final Fantasy game.
I mean, I don't think so.
You don't believe it's a Final Fantasy game?
I mean, that's also frustrating, and they've been slowly being less and less Final Fantasy games, like the last few games. I mean, 12 was a step in a different direction, but it was still definitely Final Fantasy. And then 13, I mean, still, I think at the core they were Final Fantasy characters, and all the magic and summons were there. But it didn't feel like one because all that open world stuff was gone. I mean, there was no towns, there was no buying shit, there was no. It's like half of what makes Final Fantasy was gone.
In this game, though, it does have that open world thing.
It does have the open world thing.
But just because the combat's different, you feel like it's not a Final Fantasy game?
It feels like an action like Kingdom Hearts or something.
Well, the game. Well, you gotta think about this too. This game originally was a spin-off Fantasy game.
Which that's a whole other complaint I thought about. Like. I saw an article a few days ago that the game is 9 years old now.
Oh, it is.
So, understandably, this is a demo, and we're saying, okay, this isn't the final product of the game. But if the game's been in development for 9 years, I expect a slightly more polished.
Well, let's say this thing: the game was announced 9 years ago.
Okay.
Let's think of it like that.
All right.
Like, have they been working on this game for 9 years? Definitely not. Right? They haven't been working on this game for 9 years, and this game. Like, at one point, was being directed by the guy who was making Kingdom Hearts.
Right. And I think that shows.
And then he went off, so the guy who did Type 0 is directing this game.
Right, which is also action-based as well.
So, a lot of stuff has changed in this game. And this goes on another rant that I wanted to bring up. I don't know if you want me to do it here or wait a little bit.
You can.
But, like, just... how dire has the Japanese game market become? Like, especially like last generation. How dire, like, has it become? Because you look at the PS2 days. I was thinking about this the other day. PS2 days. Who were the top dogs? It's all the Japanese developers, right?
Yeah,
all of them are Japanese developers.
Yeah.
And then when the HD era came with the Xbox 360 and the PS3, they all fell off. Like, who was left? It was like Kojima. That's literally it. Like Kojima, a few Capcom games here and there, and then everybody else has fell off. Like Square Enix fell hard, right? They fell hard.
Yeah.
They made 13, which is a lot of people's complaint, like you said, which it was fine for me.
Still a good game.
So for me, to me, Final Fantasy 13 was like a beginner's to Final Fantasy. Like, if you have never played a Final Fantasy game and you're a beginner, that's the perfect game. Because it holds your hand for, like, a lot of the game. Yeah. And then it finally opens up towards the end. You're like, okay. Yeah. Which was perfect for me, because I never beat a numbered Final Fantasy game until 13. Mm-hmm. But other than that, like, they kept doing 13. No one wanted that. All their other games they didn't do. Yeah. Like, look at this. Here's another example. Last Guardian. It's still not out.
Yeah. But E3, coming.
That game, when was it announced? Like 2008, 2007?
I mean, that's probably been 9 years too. I don't know.
Like forever ago. Yeah. It never came back. Right. Team Ico made two of the best PS2 games of all time with Ico and Shadow of the Colossus. And then nothing.
Yeah, didn't have the game on PS3.
There has been 3 Uncharted games before the last Guardians came out.
All of them awesome.
Like,
yeah.
And The Last of Us. 4 games Naughty Dog has put out.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what the deal is with all those. I don't know why. I mean, part of it that is annoying is, like, they feel like they have to, like, reinvent the wheel every time. Like, shatter. And I understand because that was one thing true from, like, starting with like 5, 6, 7, 8, like the combat was always much different. Like it's not the same game. Yes. I always had similar characters and the summons are all the same and all that kind of stuff. But like,
different.
They changed combat and leveling up enough to where it like felt like a different game. but it always kept like something like where you knew it was a Final Fantasy game. And I just don't feel like 13 kept that, and I don't think this is keeping that enough. And so I think it's going to be a fine game, and I'm sure I like it. It's not like fulfilling my need for like.
So you want a more like a turn-based
I mean, it doesn't have to be turn-based. I like 12.
But was 12 turn-based?
I mean, you had like a meter that filled up, but you were constantly moving.
Okay.
You know, and there were like set up. You had like issued AI commands to all your people. Like you set up priorities. It was kind of interesting, but and that still, I don't know, still felt like enough of an RPG to me. But this is just, I don't know, it's another beast. And you're right, it's coming from something different, and they just tacked 15 on it because they had to. But I don't know.
I think
to me, I would like to see.
We need the whole pie, right? We just got a piece.
Yeah.
So we don't know yet. And like you said, if they fix the camera, they fix the targeting, it'd be much better. I think they have an interesting battle system. Like, it was interesting. I was like, this is interesting.
That's interesting.
It could be really good. It still needs work.
Yeah.
I like the characters. I like the whole, like, there's just like bros on the car driving around the world and doing whatever they need to do. Seems to open it back up, so you'll at least get that aspect of the Final Fantasy game.
Right. There were shops where you could buy things.
Shops you could buy stuff.
There are shops.
But like I know it is concerning, man. It's I think it's a good start. They said they're gonna take a lot from the demo and fix what people complain about and all that stuff.
Right. And to be fair, 13's original demo was very different than what the final game was.
But this is my concern. But they go back, they fix all this. How much longer does this game take to come out?
I think 2 years, probably.
Like another 2 years? Next fall, you think?
Yeah.
Like, so you think fall 2016 this game comes out?
Yeah, I think so.
See, like, I don't see it. I think maybe spring 2017. It's just, and it's ridiculous. It's just, I don't know. Like, Square Enix RPGs has just, like, taken a hit. They really need a win. They really desperately need a win.
Well, that's why, and other people are making cool RPGs still. So I don't think they feel like they have to like make it adult and modern and like reinvent it, and it has to be like hardcore. But it's like Ni no Kuni came out, like that's totally like awesome, like traditional RPG, but still had different elements that made it modern, and it was like a great RPG game. Like there's changing so much now that it's like not even in the RPG. I mean, that's loosely defined nowadays, but it's like barely even in that traditional RPG zone that was like what made it what it was. I think they're losing out on their core people.
I think, yeah. I think there's some truth to that. I think we've seen it with a lot of the Japanese market. They try to be like, all right, let's gear it toward more a Western audience. Yeah. Let's make it this way. I mean, a good example of that is like how bad Ninja Gaiden 3 was. Like, it was just terrible. And it was because they try to make it more like a Western action game a little bit with like the talking. They have like the Gears of War like walking around with the holding his hand to his ear for like a headpiece and stuff like that. And they lost what made it Ninja Gaiden. And I feel like they just like, oh, we have to make it this way. And part of that might be because of like how the console market is in Japan now. Like, it's all mobile now, basically. Mobile and handheld. So the console game is not that big in Japan anymore. So maybe they
But I think it's because they don't make any decent console games anymore.
And that's the thing, too. It's like
what decent Japanese console games are made?
What they think that they need to do is, like, contradicting what they should do, which is keep doing what they do. Like, make their game. Yes. Don't worry about all the markets. Make their game, and everyone will love it.
Think about all the things that blew up here back then, like Mario and the original Final Fantasy. All that stuff blew up here, but they weren't thinking like, "Oh, we're making this for Americans." They made their game, and then Americans localized it, and we're like, "Oh shit, this is fun." Yes, like they should do that.
I mean, yeah, I completely agree, and we'll see. You know, going back to Final Fantasy. I still think 15 is gonna be a good game. Like, I just feel like they're putting in a lot of effort. I think it's actually gonna come out. But I think it's still too soon to say not a Final Fantasy game, because I think you're right, and like there's a lot of stuff that concerns you, and you're more of a Final Fantasy fan than I am. But I think that open world music, you said, I think there's a lot of aspects that 13 didn't do that they're doing. That if they just bring in the gameplay now, then you'll get that. You'll get that.
Which
feeling.
they've said towns are going to come back, so there's not worry about that. And there will be magic. I imagine the magic will work like Type 0, where it's kind of like a button, and you're using MP, and you have like selected spells, which I don't think is that unique. And I think, like I said, it might have a problem of. I think what they're going to have to end up doing is possibly adding another resource. So there's MP and there's like action points or something, you know? And the dodging and the warping can take out of that pool, and maybe the techniques, and then magic takes out of a non-recharging MP source that you have.
Maybe
also.
They might do that.
And there also there is limit breaks sort of, which is kind of cool. I don't know. You have to do some exploring in the demo, but if you do the extra side quests, you get like the limit break for the dude. And if you have full health and MP, you can press like L1 and R1, and he goes like into limit break crazy mode, and it uses all your MP. But, like, you can, like, warp around and, like, do stronger attacks, and it makes them, like, go nuts, which is kind of cool. And there's one summon in the demo, too, which is pretty cool. You can, when you, like, die, you can decide to, like, pull out a summon. And it's Ramu, which is, like, one of the traditional, I guess, spoilers for the demo, but it's Ramu, and it's, like, the traditional Ramu Final Fantasy. And the graphic for it, I will say, was awesome. Okay. Like, the summon. The issue is, in the demo, you don't get any experience if you kill enemies with a summon. Okay. I'm hoping and assuming, because it says there's a specific note that says in episode Duske or whatever, you don't get experience. So I think they're trying to let people know, like, just so you know, you will get experience. And I think they haven't worked out yet, like, what it's going to cost to summon and like how to reuse, because they don't really have that system worked out yet. I don't think it's going to be like, oh, when you die, you can choose a summon and just use it. Like in the demo, it's really easy to summon. I don't think it's going to be like that in the game, but I think you will get experience with it. But yeah, in the demo, it kind of sucks. You don't get experience if you kill.
What'd you think about the camping?
Oh, I think it's cool if they take out. That's the only time you get your experience.
Okay.
So for people that haven't played yet, you have to camp at certain points, and you don't collect. You collect experience from battle, but you don't get any of it until you camp for the night.
Yeah.
And it's not always easy to get to a camping spot. Sometimes it takes backtracking, depending on where you are. So, like, once you do camp, you get all your experience, and you get level up, and you also get bonuses depending on the meal you cook. So you have, like, supplies, and you can cook different meals, and they come with different stat bonuses for that day, which I think is a cool idea, for sure. And I like that part of it, and I think that's a good idea. It restores your HP and MP and stuff. But I don't like that you only level up at that point, because it involves a bunch of backtracking, and it feels... So, like, when you go to fight the boss in the demo, you have to go into, like, a separate little, like, closed-off wood that's, like, its own area. And you can't get out to get back without, like, going all the way back out. So you do this whole mist part, you know, and they tell you, oh, hey, you should camp before you fight the boss so you can be the highest level that you can be. It's like, yeah, I would love to do that, but I'm not going to backtrack throughout the whole dungeon to get all my experience and then do it all again. Like, that defeats the purpose. So I'm fighting the boss, like, 5 levels lower than I actually am, because I have enough experience to level up like 5 levels, but I can't because I can't camp here.
So they need to put like a camp like right by the boss.
I think if they're going to do that, yeah, you need to camp right before boss, or you need an item like a tent, which is a traditional Final Fantasy thing where you use like a tent.
That'd be interesting,
and anywhere you want, as long as you have it on the map. It didn't seem like that was going to be something, because there were set campgrounds that you had to go to on the map. Yeah. But I think it's a cool idea, but I didn't like... That's the only time I can get my experience.
You flush it out.
I thought that was annoying.
You flush it out a little bit more.
So I think they may also tweak that, because I think other people will be annoyed by that too.
Okay.
But
that's good.
I thought the daily status effects based on the cooking was a cool twist.
That was cool. I liked it. I gotta go back and play it like straight up. I just jumped in and dabbed in it for a little bit. And I was like, oh, this is neat. And they had a little bit of frame rate issues. I think I remember correctly.
Yeah. It was a little glitchy, but
again, like it's a
the
demo.
graphics
it is a freaking huge demo.
Yeah,
like, I was like, this is ridiculous.
It took me at least 3 hours, and you can actually go back in once you beat it. You can go back in. I saw, and like the boss is somewhere else, and there's a few new quests and things you can do. So there's like some extra stuff that you can do.
They put some time in that demo.
Yeah.
So I might try to give it a try here and there.
So after reading and thinking about it, I calmed down a little bit.
Yeah, you calmed down.
I have concerns. My only reason I calmed down is I think that I've seen other people bitching
So you think
I think they're going to address
they're
the
gonna
things
address
that
it and
I've been
change it.
pitching about. But so I'm not as worried, but I still am worried that it's not going to be the Final Fantasy game that I've wanted for a while. But I don't know. Traditional RPGs are few and far between nowadays, anyway. So
You could buy Final Fantasy X, I think, this week. HD, PS4.
I bought it on PS3 and rebeat it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Okay.
got all the trophies.
I
So.
might. Oh, you platinum it too?
10. I didn't get everything on 10 too.
Oh my god. I might jump back into 10. 10 is that one game where it was
10's
like
great. I love
10,
10.
10 was like my first Final Fantasy game, and I remember like I'm just terrible at it. And then I got to a part, I think it was like the second or third Seymour battle, and I just got destroyed.
Yeah.
And I was stuck at this part where basically I had to like just grind dirty amount to like level up to actually fight him.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I gave up on this.
I would say maybe if you want to try with a guide, it helps to get like items that you would miss usually, and then sometimes those items are like really powerful, so you don't have to level as much. But
I might jump back into that. But like I said,
I like 10.
Witcher 3's first.
Yeah.
After that,
Yeah.
anything goes. All right. Anything else you want to add about Final Fantasy?
No, that was my rant.
Good rant.
We'll see.
We'll see. We're excited,
Those are my thoughts.
but you have concerns and still don't know if it's a true Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
Just something.
I think it'll still be a good game no matter what. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited to play it, but it's missing some. I miss the old games basically, and I still go back and play them all the time. And maybe that's just me, but I think a lot of people. I think just like the Banjo-Kazooie thing, making $2 million in a day. I bet you if somebody posted a Kickstarter for I'm going to make a old school RPG, Final Fantasy VII or whatever remake or something, that would blow up. I think people want that.
We're in a like the golden age of gaming. I like to call it, because anything you make, everyone loves. Like you can make a little 2D old school game and everyone will eat that up because of the indie craze. You can make this big, huge, whatever, millions of dollars game. Everyone will love that too, right? There's anything
There's a
you want to
market
make.
for whatever.
There's a market for whatever you want to make.
Yeah.
So, like you said, like people can go back and do that, and they don't need to worry like, oh, no one likes this guy. No, everyone loves it. Just whatever you want to make as long as it's good.
Right. Yeah. People will buy it.
And people will buy it. Anything else to add, Kevin?
I think that's it.
I think that's about it. I think that's our episode. We'll be back next week. We should be doing. Hopefully, we do our E3 predictions pretty soon.
Yeah. What is it? Is that in June?
June 16th.
Okay.
Hopefully, in a couple of weeks, we'll do that.
A couple episodes.
I want to do that soon, and also hopefully we could look to get this published soon. I think we're close.
We're close.
We're close, I believe. We still need to get a song though.
Yes.
Intro and stuff.
I'm on it eventually. I swear.
All right. Anyway, this is the episode for this week. For whoever's listening or who will listen to this, have a happy Mother's Day, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Goodbye.